Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy Golden Age New Year. My name is Cheryl Davis. I am posting a video today through my source directives, what our creator slash source slash some people call God or Daddy has told me to do. It's related to King Smarty and that he really is Jesus. Actually, the real name for that is actually Yeshua. He really is Son of Source. And I'm putting out this little video for people to watch it, think about it. There's many new people or people that are not a part of Smarty's group, which is in Telegram, King Smarty Source Directives. And just wanted to put out a few-minute video explaining some things from my own experience, but also to open people's hearts, help them deprogram, help them connect with our Creator, and help them feel the truth and love, and they can come to their own conclusion of Smarty being Yeshua. For me, it was never a no-brainer. Sometimes when you learn things, you pick up on it or you just have a knowing, and I've always had this knowing with him. I've never questioned it ever. So it's much easier for me because I always knew it. And I want to help as many people as possible because I put myself in anyone else's position. And if someone absolutely knew Jesus is back, right? Someone knew for sure, how can you be quiet? How can you not tell everyone? This is the best news ever. And he's been working for us behind the scenes and publicly, but he keeps getting censored. Many of us keep getting censored, but he's been helping us and doing so much. The list is so long, I can't even say the whole list. But anyway, I just want to go over this with you and share some information. I know everyone has their own story, especially everyone that knows Smarty is Jesus. And I encourage anyone else to make another video. It's really important to get the information out there. And I know I'm feeling a calling to step it up even more and make it known. The word needs to get out, and the vibrations are rising on Earth. We're all ascending together, and it's time for people to deprogram and to feel the truth, know the truth, and to get a closer connection with our Creator, and also to love and respect the King of Kings. He's here. So I put myself in the position of what would I expect, before I ever actually met King Smarty, when I was living in California, and I think it was 2012 to 2014, can't remember, it doesn't matter. But I was sitting outside a Whole Foods chatting with someone, and we ended up on the subject of Jesus, and I just told him, I feel he's going to be here. I said, in 2 years, that's what I said. It's just something, a feeling you have within, right? That I really felt he was going to be here within 2 years. And the person I was speaking with actually started freaking out a little bit because they just couldn't handle it. And so that just told me right there that I had more of a connection. I actually met Smarty in, I think it was 2016 when he came on to Dr. WC's call, sending a hologram to Fisher. But from my own experience about being outside of Whole Foods, I just had a feeling, knowing he would be back because everything going on in the world, right? All the darkness, all the deceit, all the greed, people not helping one another. If you read parts of the Bible and they say the end times, everything where they say the end times, we're there. So there's no reason or way anyone can bury their head in the sand. It's all matches up. So that's just some of the examples. I know the Bible isn't true completely because the dark have twisted it around to confuse people on purpose and help program them more so that they would not feel the truth because the dark wanted to rule. It's always been a spiritual war, dark versus light, and this is no different. So when I look at what would my expectations be of Jesus coming back? It would be taking care of the darkness, getting rid of the greed, getting rid of the lies, getting rid of the corruption, getting rid of looking at money as doing anything you can to get money, selling your soul, human trafficking, just horrible acts, getting rid of all of these horrific acts. And Smarty he's been doing all of these things. I don't want to get into Smarty yet. These are just my expectations on what I expect of when I had envisioned Jesus coming back. I would expect him to claim his title, not to come back as, someone shy or timid, but someone very strong and very bold to stand up, and to be courageous, speaking truth, being of love. I would expect Jesus to bring us closer to Daddy, our Creator. Some people have questioned me recently about calling Daddy, Daddy. I feel very close to him. I started out calling him the Creator, then I called him Source because that's his name. Sometimes I call him Curveball Daddy because he throws so many curveballs at us, and I just have to laugh. But now I actually call him Daddy because he's very, very close to my heart, and he's our dad. He really is our dad. We are all his children. So I would expect also Jesus to be a good role model as far as listening to what the Creator, Source, Daddy has to say, following through on that, calling people out, exposing people, having full disclosure, being love, giving some people second chances, going to the next level, explaining some things, correcting some things that were in the Bible that were not correct, that just didn't make sense. I know for me, reading the Bible, there were things that just didn't add up, or there weren't details, or if you research it, the information was absent. It just didn't all fit together. Just something was up and just did not seem right. And all of these things, so you have to kind of, since they didn't all add up, kind of take it with a grain of salt, and also I kind of set it aside going, okay, I'm going to set this like to the side over here, come back to that later, but go with what you do know and what you do expect. So those were my expectations on Jesus coming back. So then the next step is, well, what do you do? With Jesus coming back, how do you know? There's so many false prophets out there, right? There's so many ones that have claimed they are the Son of Source. They are the Messiah. They are the one we've been waiting for, a prophet, Jesus, all of these ones, right? How do you know if they're true? How do you know if they're correct? Well, to me, the only way to know is if you have a relationship with our Creator, right? So it took me a long time to have a relationship with the Creator, because when I first gave myself to him, I gave myself to him a few different times, but it's hearing his voice from within, and it's being in his presence and spending time with him and giving him gratitude. You start with gratitude, the littlest things, whether it's a home, a bed, food, love, friends. Just start with anything and just keep listing over and over and over, thanking him for your life, thanking him for him being in control, for loving us all, for having a plan. And just that will just bring you closer. Some people get closer by reading the Bible. I used to read the Bible a lot, and then knowing though that some of it didn't make sense, but I still felt his love. Anything related to love, Daddy is truth and love. So when I was confused about something, I would go to something else, a different subject, where I knew it was truth, complete truth. And so feeling that truth within, I would correspond that to anything I was reading or feeling. And the same thing with love. So it's feeling within of what that is. Also with getting a relationship with Source, I would send him love from me to him, and ask him for him to send love to me. I would ground myself, put your feet in the sand, go walk outside barefoot in dirt, on the ground, on grass, because we're all connected. We're all connected through nature, through the flower of life. We're all literally connected together. We're all energetic beings connected together. So we're actually connecting to Daddy through our Mother Earth. Sophia is her name. And being grounded, you can actually hear from him more and feel from him more. So when you're actually hearing from Source, I started hearing from him, right? Before I actually met King Smarty. And I would hear from him sometimes within, but then sometimes my answers were really off, and realized it was dark interference. Everyone within has something called the trifold flame. It's through your heart, and that's your heart center, where you can actually feel the truth. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. Someone's telling you a lie, and it's just so crazy and out there, and you're like, that just does not make any sense, versus someone telling you straight out, being very straightforward. It has a very different effect and very different energy around that. So before I actually met Smarty, I was hearing from Source, but sometimes it was wrong, and that was dark interference, and I didn't really know how to correct it. So those are all the ways for me how to know if someone is telling the truth, whether they're a false prophet or not. For me, that's worked for getting a closer relationship with Source. So then meeting Smarty and learning his method on using, the pendulum for people that aren't really hearing from Source, I started using the pendulum, and that helped me a lot, because even when I was hearing from Source, it was only once in a while, and it was like maybe one sentence here and there, once a week, or I don't know, if that. And I wanted to hear from him all the time. I wanted that constant communication. I wanted what Smarty had, which is nonstop, where he can't get away from Daddy. So I wanted that, to constantly hear and talk to Source on a regular basis. So how do you do that? Again, some of the ways that I just mentioned, but also using the pendulum, using Smarty's Jedi method. Cannot stress that enough, how amazing that is. The more you help others, the more you'll grow and you'll be lifted, and Daddy will increase your skills and abilities. So it's all about love and service to Source, Smarty, Jazzy, each other, love and service to one another, raising vibrations, healing each other. And the more you heal each other, the more Daddy will bless you with what his plans are for you. So learning the Smarty method using the pendulum, it was amazing how Smarty would say, don't trust me, ask Daddy, ask your pendulum if what I'm saying is true. I remember when he first came out, telling everyone, what was that? Was that 2018? I think it was, that he was Jesus. I remember him being on the phone and being nervous about it. And I believe, was it at the end of the phone call or the beginning of the phone call? I don't know. I think it was a Thursday or a Friday. We had the weekend. So we had a couple days right after that, okay, where there wasn't a call. And I remember being, oh my gosh, this is crazy, that he said this. And I knew it was true. And I could tell that Smarty was really nervous. And when we had the next call on Dr. WC's call, and Smarty said, I was sweating because Daddy told me it's time to announce who I am. And he had to do it. He followed his Source directives. And when Smarty was talking about that again, I could feel the truth. It was like, a wave of pure, how do I say it? Pure, sweet love, like so, like it came straight from Daddy's heart. Is the words and the energy of what I was feeling when Smarty said it, and every time again and again. And I remember on that conversation when I brought it up to Smarty, how can we help you? What can we do? And I don't know, throughout the conversation, he had said he can't lie. He wasn't, it's not how he was made. He wasn't made to lie. And it's true. He's never lied. He can't lie. And I'm sure sometimes, there's things that he's had to say that have been really hard. And they weren't even his doing, sources having him say these things, which were harder. And I'm so grateful to Smarty for always sharing and telling the truth. But what I'm saying is, by using the pendulum, it helped me get a stronger, closer connection with Daddy and also with Smarty. But I love it how Smarty was like, don't just trust me, go to Daddy. It's all about developing a closer connection with Daddy. So when I didn't have to use the pendulum anymore and I started hearing from Daddy and talking to Daddy, and now it's nonstop, constant, all the time, unless I have interference or an attack or something going on, and then I have to clear myself, take some time, or maybe there's something really heavy and busy going on in the spiritual world, and it's distant. My communication is distant on purpose. That's just how it's supposed to be. But utilizing all of these things, it only proves more and more. There's more validations that Smarty really is Yeshua / Jesus / Son of Source. He's also Sananda. When you look at the actual Bible of when they say what Jesus will be like when he comes back, he's coming back to reign, claim his throne, claim his power. And that's absolutely what Smarty has done, where he's coming in boldly, telling everyone, the dark, you're finished. We're taking you down. And there's just been a lot of cleanup and a lot of work while spreading love, while deprogramming, while getting confirmation and validation from Daddy and absolutely everything. So it's been a combination of a lot of things. So it's not just one thing. It's been a lot of things. I also look at Smarty's energy. His energy is beautiful. He had his aura done at a conference. I believe that was with Stu Greenwald. And someone looked at his aura, and his aura was perfection. And the guy said, I've never seen his aura. I've never seen anyone's aura like this. And it just all matches, right? Everything adds up. Everything is a match. And again, checking that inside your heart, your trifold flame, and checking it within, feeling the truth versus, something that's not the truth. When it just feels right and feels deep within that it's true, then you know it's true. How is this possible to have, Jesus back now? Well, it's all about consciousness. Daddy can move consciousness back and forth into beings. We have many, many different lifetimes, all of us, since back to our original creation. And it's just changing your consciousness into one being or another. We're all multidimensional beings we have different aspects of ourselves, and we can move back and forth into dimensions, and we can also move into other beings per Daddy's approval and our abilities. It just depends on his level, the level and what Daddy approves, and who we are and how we were made, etc. But Smarty is the son of source. So he has the greatest abilities, the greatest skill set. He is the most advanced. He is daddy in the flesh. He is the heart of daddy, of the creator, of source. And to be that, you have to be very hard at times, very loving at times, taking care of business, working really hard, teaching, sharing, correcting, protecting, so many aspects. And he is more than what I would have ever thought he could be on a greater level. And it's such an honor to know him, be here to work for him, to share his truth, his love, and be a part of all of this together. All of us working together makes everyone stronger, and we accomplish things and manifest everything into the physical, raising the love vibration and service to one another, removing the darkness quicker and quicker, because that's what we all want. We're in the golden age, beginning of the golden age, and the golden age is where we will live forever. The darkness is gone, and it's love and service to one another. Smarty was born through natural birth and a light conception combined together. He's the first being of his kind. And Source hit his mother's womb when she went in, I think it was to be baptized in the water. And the waves just like rippled when Daddy hit her womb and put Smarty's consciousness in her. It was absolutely amazing. Major chills just thinking about that, of how special all of that really is, and just how beautiful all of this is and Daddy's plan. Smarty has a video that explains the universe, the spiritual warfare of many different galactics between Earth and in our galaxy and our solar system. And I believe I have that on my channel. If not, I'll upload it. But he's actually drawing a cube, and he shows in the cube, he shows where Earth is and where the solar system is and the galaxy and all the different areas of the universe and how things are being cleaned up. So it talks about how we're waiting for many, many, many years, a very long time. And finally it was decided to go in and take care of business because it could not happen anymore. So looking at all of the information, I'm asking for people to allow themselves to let love come in, to expand their hearts, to be open to new possibilities and new ideas, even if it conflicts with what you've learned, what you've known, what you've thought in the past. Maybe an experience you had, you didn't have all the information or have all of the understanding. To remove the beliefs that others have shared with you. To me, it's all about having a personal relationship, that's a spiritual relationship with our creator within and knowing the truth. I go for that instead of going to a particular group, such as religion or whatever, telling them how I think or how I should be. I validate and ask everything through our creator, as well as other friends, Jedi friends, making sure that they're getting the same answers to make sure that we're clear and on the same page, and the information is correct. And usually at that point, once something is validated and confirmed, then more information comes through, if that's Daddy, if that's in part of the source directives and Daddy's plan. Everyone has an energy signature also. Just something to think about. I use an example of an artist, right? An artist created a piece of work and they have their original signature, and you can see and feel the presence of the artist on there versus if something is a G-clay or photocopied, right? It doesn't have that same feeling, that same imprint. It's their energy signature. Well, Smarty has an energy signature. We all have an energy signature. And Smarty's energy signature was on the New Jerusalem for Sananda, and everyone's selves are being combined together. So we'll be all one. We have a spiritual self, which is an etheric self, and we have our physical self, and we have different layers and dimensions, how I understand it. It's all being merged together, whether Daddy just switches us or it's through the crystalline chambers where we'll be completely merged into one, our higher self with our physical self, that will have our energy signature all combined together as one. So people will have a closer connection with our creator at that point, as far as hearing from him, connecting with him, having communication, feeling, having knowing, feeling him actually in your heart, and as well as our source chosen partners, as well as many others in the etheric. I feel very, very fortunate to be able to communicate with several in the etheric, including my source chosen partner. It's absolutely amazing. And with Daddy, Smarty, Jazz, there's so many. And it's amazing, but it's all about the skills and abilities and having trust and faith and letting go of old beliefs and just keep working at it, working hard, being in Daddy's presence, and keep asking questions and following your source directives and healing and helping as many people as you possibly can. So how did this actually happen for, Smarty, besides the light conception mixed with natural birth? How did this happen? Well, Smarty explained in the video of the cube and the universe on how many were overlooking what was happening on Earth and the galaxy and came in. Many of us were born on this side of the dome. There was actually a dome over Earth, and that was keeping the higher vibrations out. And the only way to do that was to be born inside the dome. So Smarty was born inside the dome to help correct it. Many of us were to be of the light and to raise vibrations. He is a master of frequencies, which everything is energy, and matter tells energy what to do. And the spiritual warfare is all about a war on frequencies, whether it's spells, whether it's attacks, whether it's lowering vibrations, raising vibrations, pure love, truth, deception. Those are all frequencies. And that's what this all is all about, with the light versus dark and the being of truth or not being of truth, getting correct information, not getting correct information. It's been a battle. And we all know the creator's already won. The light love team has already won. So congratulations to you all. This is so amazing. Everyone has worked so hard, and so many of us have come together from so many different lifetimes, life forces, species, all over the universe and beyond. And we've all had different backgrounds, and everyone's at the same point of the source, pure love, light team family. So congratulations to you all. So I just wanted to share my personal experience, and we'll be sharing more. That Smarty is Jesus. A lot of people need to hear things over and over again and to find their own path to the truth. And wanted to help others get to where I'm at, because What I have is absolutely amazing. And I really only wish everyone to have the same connection and communication with Source to guide them throughout their day, every day, all day long. Love and light, everyone. Happy New Year of the Golden Age. Bye. Thank you, Anthony, for your help.